Hi, Gerald Johnson with Ride the Wind again. I just gave you shots of the Little Red River here in Heber Springs, Arkansas, the mountains where I like to hang out. I did want to add to that story that when I spent the last year and a half outside, the summer got real hot. You know, I don't know if you've ever tried to do that, but it does get real hot. And I do want to add in the fact, for the year and a half, I looked at the skies and I sought silence and I found it and blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that later. But what I ended up finding out is I was at a lake that was really warm, you know, and you put things together pretty quick. Well, the Red River over here, it's 50 degrees. Okay, so if you go up to JFK Fish Hatchery, which is federal land, there's difference between federal land and government land, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into that either. But if you want to camp, go to federal land. You can go out in the middle of nowhere and nobody's going to bother you. You go to a state park, you got issues. So I'll leave that there. They've all been real cool to me across, you know, where I've traveled. So I've got no bones to pick with any of them. But what I did want to talk about real quick is, you know, we're still posting planets. I've offered you guys to put your email addresses up there, and I'll be happy to send you what I got. I got some new footage in this morning in Switzerland at approximately 10:30, and I got the dragon, I got the tail, and I've got 20 total videos of that happening. And while you see the dragon coming in, the sun is flashing, trying to blink it. I want to say white is red. If you take your phone and you tilt it, okay, you're looking at it straight, right? Take it, put a tilt to it, look at it. That white will turn to red. It's got nothing to do with pixels, okay? It's got to do with the way of looking at things. Look at a different angle. The blues will also, that light blue, like plasma color, that'll turn into red also. Plus you'll see the yellows pop out. That's my little trick to you. You figure out how to do it. Now, it works on my cam videos. I don't know if it's going to work with you. Okay, but in the morning in the east, okay, in the morning in the east, I'm getting this glow every morning. You turn that camera side, it's red. And then the whole big mass of black clouds will come in, and whatever it is, the dragon or whatever, I'm not sure at this point, whatever that thing is. But the dragon I shoot over in Switzerland is still pretty small. You know, but I know we're looking at through these things through the gravitational lenses that the planets emit, and we're also looking through the Einstein gravitational lenses that JPL put out. So who knows what's what? The main point being is I think they're a heck of a lot bigger than we're seeing. So again, send me your email. I mean, I really send you some cool stuff. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to see, you know, what's coming in. That's why I'm not putting it up. You know, not one reason is I'm in the Ozarks. I don't have the availability or the technology. But the second reason is that angle does not seem to work, shoving planets in your face. But maybe it does. Maybe that's what you want. I don't know. But I myself am like sick of it after 3 years. It's depressing. It's depressing. I don't care what y'all think, how positive you are in the higher powers or everything like that. This is going to be a hard deal for us all to go through. And we're going to need each other, you know. We had 3 chances to get this right. 3 chances. Trib. Trib stands for try. This is the 3rd time he burns, okay? This time he burns. But all he wanted us to do is be nice. You know, just be nice to each other. You know, it's almost like the Marines saying, you know, never leave a soldier behind. You know, if a sister or a brother drops, you pick them up. You see a homeless guy on the street who's talking to the wall, you go talk to him. You give him a water. You give him a blanket. You do whatever you need to do. 3 times we've blown this, you know. It's just sad that we've blown it a 3rd time. And here he is, showing this whole world signs. And I can rarely Find a person maybe within 150 who understands what the 144 is, what our mission is. Either light workers or archangels, depending on where you're coming from. So you should be feeling some pretty heavy stuff now, because I am. 33 is a non-stop number in my life. But point I want to make on repeating a program. And again, get me your emails. Let me please prove myself. I'm not a spam guy. I don't run consulting offices anymore. I'm just trying to help people to get their heads around this instead of shoving planets in their face. That's too scary, man. It's too much. Some people, I'm doing it with my son. How's that? Okay? And it's not working. So I just want to, and I love you, Dakota, more than anything in my life. And I wish you understood, and I wish you could kind of open your eyes into what's going on. You know, I know that the millennial children have been programmed more than any of us not to look up, to do this, to do that, to get a job, to produce, you know, to get, consume, sleep, you know? What the fuck? So, I'm having issues there, and I'm scared because I feel like this is going to go down. He's in Texas, I'm in Arkansas, and, you know, when the military's going to roll. You know, we got 2 Russian fighter jets out today, headed to Venezuela. Have you guys been watching Venezuela for the last 6 months? My key there is a guy, Florida Marquis. You want to know what's good? James Munder. You want to know what's going on in the world? You talk to those boys. Okay, Marfugel, okay, JW, okay. But Florida Marquis, ex-recon, knows what he's doing, knows what he's talking about, has watched this whole situation cook up for the last 6-8 months, and he knew it was going to blow. So I love you. I love you, Florida Marquis. Thank you so much for making me understand what else is going on in the world, which this all ties together, because it's going to be their way of pulling martial law. Paris is falling apart. We got other parts of the country following through. But this is also a good thing, because it could be the bite back. We will not take New World Order. We won't do it. This is Sparta. I just had to say that. Anyway, to define the program we run, Mecca. Sinai Mountain, there's a bunch of melted rocks, melted glass, burnt embers, melted rocks. There was a thermal-nuclear war there. There's melted glass. There's a rock there that used to be a thermal-nuclear reactor. In the temples, in Mecca, they have particle colliders drawn on the wall, okay? And they explain explosions in the sky 10 times the size of the sun, which I'm believing was the Anunnaki fighting the Palladian, but I could be mistaken. Anything I'm mistaken on, feel free to correct me, because I can only do right by being corrected by you. So again, this war went on. You know, you got melted sand. You know, that takes nuclear heat to do that kind of thing. So we start again. This third time around. Again, we're surrounded by the signs. He's trying to show us, even though they're trying to hide it, you guys see it. I was up this morning at 1:30 in the morning in the southwest. The whole thing was glowing yellow. Okay? Then they sent this mist into the Ozarks here so you couldn't see anything. It was beyond creepy. It was like a Stephen King movie. Okay, so I believe that mountain that used to be a nuclear fusion reactor thousands of years ago was Elijah. I'm not sure, but your burn marks are at the bottom of Mecca, or bottom of Mount Sinai. These temples are in Mecca. Okay, so something went on. So what I'm trying to say is, why do we have to recreate the past? Can we just love each other? Can we just start to look at the sky maybe 5-10 minutes a day before you blow out the guy who's trying to save your life? Also, preparation is the main thing we all need to get into, because they're setting it up, and I almost think the Russia, the China, the North Korea thing, it's all a script that they wrote 20 years ago, you know, and they're just waiting to blow it up. I mean, look at our infrastructure falling apart. It's like they built it just long enough to last till this happened. Does anybody knows that? Anybody? I also want to point out the fact again that he's coming on a cloud. It's made of glycoaldehyde. Okay, he is Nibiru. He said he was going to sift the wheat. Master, why do you plant? And I'm paraphrasing. Why do you plant the good wheat with the bad wheat? I'll sift it out later. He's here to sift it out, you know. And all he wants you to do is to love your brother and love your sister, and not pretend like we're islands. We aren't. We were made to be a collective. If we could knock down the primal walls that hold us back, God, we could stop everything. Okay? So let's just start being a little nicer to each other and keep an open mind to what's going on right now. That's it. Just keep an open mind. I'm not pushing anything. If you require any, I can send you this spaceship that flew over top. There's a video out. Flew over top Mount Higoshima last week in Japan. Huge, huge, huge. The size of like 50 football fields, and it parked itself on top of this Mount Higoshima, right? There's a video out right now that shows the whole thing. Steam came into China, and that's what I saw. And then all of a sudden this thing, where it's clear sky behind the mountain, all of a sudden this ship, I cannot describe. You've got to order the video, not order it, just request it. I'll send you one of the things. This is the most incredible, I always say the last thing is the most incredible, but this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It dwarfs the volcano, okay? It dwarfs it. So anyway, I love talking to you. Get out in the silence. Find yourself. Lose ego. Lose self. Try and help somebody once a day. Take some time down at the library. Get a book. Learn. I owe you a final part on the Einstein skies. I am working on that. I just want a conclusion to put with it, because that's what you do with an APA paper. Source it and then come up with conclusions. I don't want to hand you anything without conclusions. So anyway, bless y'all. I love you very much. I think I'm out of time. Thank you. Bye.